Hey everyone, and today I'm going to show you a demo of Atarsi Group ERP. This is the only ERP that was required when it is going to be completed. It is going to take care of all the office related activity. This ERP is actually consist of every single module that was expected to be in a system that built for the organizations and the multiple companies. So the ERP supports multiple companies. This ERP supports the projects, everything which you think is going to be consistent inside this. This is a quick development update, so it's not going to have like the full-fledged features to be ready. But yeah, that's a development update. So I'm going to show you what we have developed so far and what we are working on it right now, so that we like align ourselves into the thought process of yours. Okay, so firstly, let's log into the account. So there is an admin account which I've already shared with you. I log in with that account. Once I logged in, I was I logged in with into the dashboard. I was able to see few numbers. These numbers were the static right now, and later on it going to be the dynamic one. So you will have like a full-fledged reports and the dashboard sections inside this. Then you have a quick action buttons as well in the side menus, and so that you can actually quickly create some of the few things that you actually need to like do. So we do have the user management. So basically how the thing is working, and like I'll show you the hierarchy. Every user needs to be inside like a specific company and a specific project. So if a user was under, like, let's say Atarsi EV, and Move It is a part of Atarsi EV, and Move It is going to be the project. So the user who is inside the Atarsi EV and the Move It project is only able to see the data and perform the actions only for the Move It, none of the else. If the user was in the part of the Atarsi EV but not within the any of the project, then Atarsi EV, all the projects, all the access is going to provide it to that specific user, and that's how this will work. You can also specify, okay, so only the Move It, I want this user to be taken care of the account section, rest of them I don't want to do that. So you can also specify that as well. Speaking of which, let's go to the user management. As you see, I do have three users already created. I'm going to add a new user. So I'm just clicking on this button, which is like saying add new user. Then we have like a few stepper form. These stepper forms are the forms which actually used to create the users. So I'm quickly upload like a photo, and I'm just specify a Rahul Singh, and let's say the email is going to be rahul@moveit.in. So the specification is also going to be this, that when the user is actually when user is actually created under the specific company, the company domain is needs to have a email ID of that specific user, because the system is going to check. Right now it's disabled, but yeah, later on, once the user is going to create it, the company under that specific company, the company domain is going to be checked that this email IDs exist or not. If it is not, the user account creation will not going to be happen. Yeah. And then we specify the number, and then we specify the address. Hey, this is a new address. Then country, state, zip code. I'm adding a random number over here. Date of joining. Now, if the employee is a contractual employee, you can specify that this is a contractual employee, and then you can select the number of contracts along with the number of contracts, that which of the contract this employee was comes in. Contract is going to be like a different for everyone. So you can add like a multiple contracts, and then you have you specify your terms, conditions, and everything, and then after you can assign that contract to a specific employee. After completing of that contract, the employee login is already the employee login is disrupted, and the employee was not able to log in until and unless the contract is going to be renewed and the older one is going to be deleted. Yeah. Then we do have the specify emergency contact. So I'll add a Roshan, and I'm adding a phone number. Then after I have to specify the work information. It's a very simple thing. You just need to specify the company, the reporting manager, the shift, the designation, the salary per month. That's a huge amount. Yeah. The location, the experience, going to be the gender and the project. Right now the project is static one. Later on the project is also going to be under like a specific drop down, because we are still working on how exactly we are going to design a project flow. Why we haven't developed that yet? Because the project is going to be like a very like a very huge in numbers, so the project is going to be searchable and every other things will be there. So let's specify the hey, and then let's go to the bank detail. So I am specifying my bank detail, State Bank of India, and so India, and then IFSC code SBIN 00121228, and then account number 039688860. Account name. Then if we wanted to upload any sort of documents, any other things, we can actually upload that. And once this will uploaded, we can continue. Then we have a module and role section. So this is a very important role section, because over here we have to specify what are the module. Let's say in the inventory section, I want this user to be add anything, but it cannot edit and delete something. Read is the by default thing. You can also uncheck this, but that was not a matter of time, because then the user have the ability to add something, but the user won't able to see the inventory module over there. So this is how you can specify the things. Once you create a new user, you will see this user is already is going to be created. The password is sent to that specific email ID. Yeah. Then if you want to see the user, you can also click on this eye icon, and you will see all the information that was specified. The photo is something which we still working on it in the view and edit section. You can also edit the information if you want. So you cannot edit the name, the email, email ID. You can edit the phone numbers, any other things. If you can make the employee contractual or so, right? So this is what the thing is. Then you also able to delete this user. So let's delete any dummy user. This is the dummy user. Let's delete it up there. It says invalid user ID. That means the user is not. So either I don't have the ability to delete the user. Yeah, the user is deleted now. In the similar way, you can create a new company as well. So how you can create a new company? Let's say if I wanted to create a new company called Move It. So I specify the name, the registration number, the year of establishment, and then the address. So let's say NPX Tower, Noida, Sector 153, Delhi, India. And then state, zip code, directors and domain. You can specify the directory in this way. You can also like have like a multiple spaces as well, like Rahul Malhotra, and so on. So area of working is going to be Delhi. Now this is going to be the domain which you need to specify, because if you specify this domain, then only the user who is going to create under this specific company will have the access to create their account. Then we go to the registration document. We can specify if the GST is enabled. If yes, we have to provide the GST number. If not, we have to just leave it as it is. We can also upload the multiple documents which we want, which we think of that the person will actually, this company is having these documents. Like we can upload the PAN, TAN, the incorporation certificate, GST certificate, and so on. Right? Yeah. Then hitting on create company will actually reject. Let me check why we got rejected. It says registration ID can only contain the uppercase letter, number, hyphen, slashes. So we might end up having. Okay. What it says, the blob object, the document file must be a valid URL. So let's remove the document for now. I think that is still under the development. Yeah. So you will see the move it is already specified. By the way, these validations coming from the backend is going to be seen under the like the message box. We will add that in the later stages. Once we added the company, we can also view the company details. If you see, we can also view the details, and we can also edit the company details, few of them, and then we can also delete the company. So let's not delete the company right now. In the similar way, we can also have a project section where we can specify the project. So let's say if I wanted to create a project, move it Raipur, and then we can MOVR. And then we have to specify the company under which of the company this project is going to be served, and then the description. Clicking on this will create a move it Raipur. Okay, so this is the project. So now we created a user, we created a company, we created a project. Now let's go inside the specific first module that we are having, which is an inventory module. Inventory modules has a tons of everything. Okay, let's check each and everything one by one. First, there is a category. What category means is, let's say if you do have a sand, it's a construction category. If you do have a laptop, it's an electronic category. So you can specify the multiple category. So you can add a new category. You can add a category, let's say uh, boulders, and then you will have the company list. Sorry, project list. You can specify this project is going to have this category. You can specify the description as well and creating one. So you have a boulder created. Then there is a product. Now, the what is product is, the product is actually like a stock or the stock item which you are going to fill in so that you can have the stock consider inside this. The SKU. So this is the SKU. So let's say I have like a 5Y and then product name. So let's say if I wire mesh. Okay. Then this is the UOM, default UOM, unit of measurement. Record point is going to be 200, let's say 200 centimeters or so. So now we have the track serial number and track the lot number. That means we were going to track these values within the system. If you want, we specify that. So this is basically happening when you wanted to specify a few of the things which is not well uh, segregated also, right? We can also have additional unit measurement. We can convert this unit to converter factor. Let's say if it is a centimeter, let's say the employer sent us in the so we can specify the, okay, so if it is in centimeter, then going to be 200, and if it is it's going to be 20. We can also specify the multiple value so that we can have this in unit measure. Adding a product will actually create a product inside this. Now, so now we have a category, we have a product. Now let's just try to stock in this product into our inventory. Before that, let's create a warehouse. What warehouse is? So warehouse is actually a place where you can keep the keep that stock. So it can be a dynamic, it can be a like a virtual warehouse, it can be a like actual warehouse or so. So we can specify the warehouse name, Delhi New Warehouse. The warehouse code is Delhi New Warehouse 1, DWN1, and then warehouse type. This is a temporary warehouse, distributional warehouse, satellite warehouse, or main warehouse. So we can specify the main warehouse, and then we have the address. So we can use same city, Delhi. Let's say Delhi. The country is India. And then we have the status as well. By default, it's an active status. You can also create a warehouse which is going to be under construction, and you once the warehouse is active, you can still make it active and make it inactive as well based on the things and so on. So you have this capacity. What is the square feet of this? So let's say 10,000 square feet, 10,001 like square feet of the area. Then who is the contact person of that warehouse? Darshan darshan@gmail.com. Warehouse people don't require any of the company to be in, and the phone number, and then the description, a shorter description. So once we add a warehouse, this is a Delhi warehouse we have added. Now, these columns are still not coming from the backend, but those were the columns which we are expecting to be coming after the next phase of the development. Once we have the warehouse up and running, we can add a supplier as well. Okay, so now think of it in this way. We have the category of the product, we have the product, we have the warehouse. Now, if someone is going to give us a product, then only we are going to stock him, right? So let's create a new supplier who is going to supply us the product. So we can add Amit, registration ID, address, city, state, zip code, country, Is GST enable of that supplier? Yes. If it is, then specify the GST number. If it is not, uncheck this thing. And then because most of the time the supplier will have the GST number, but yeah, that is what the point is. Create one. Now we have a supplier called Amit. We have everything dummy, but the name is Amit. Then we can stock in. Okay, how the stock-ins work? You can add a stock entry. You can specify the project. You can specify the category. You can specify the product. You can specify product. You can specify the quantity. Specify the amount. We can specify the supplier. We can specify the warehouse where it is in. We can also upload the invoice if you want. And then description, adding the stock. Now, adding a stock is this status is okay. The stock is 20 available, total is 20. That means it's not a low stock. But if it is less than few of the numbers, then it's going to be considered as a low stocks option. Okay. Yeah. So now what we have done so far is we actually create a category, we actually create a stock, we actually create a product, we actually create a warehouse and the supplier. Now, let's say if someone required the in and out transaction, so we can do it in this way that if someone required that some wire mesh from anywhere in the section, but for the project, so we can specify the stock in and out. So this is a stock out section. We can specify the project for which this is going to be out. We can specify the warehouse where this product is going to be created, where picking from. We can specify the quantity, let's say 4, and then we have the delivery documents. So this delivery documents means the we can have like a permission letter, the POs and everything, and then we can create a new what we say transaction into the system. Right now the transaction is not working. We'll actually creating a like a different variety of the stuff over here. Hmm. So it says the failed because the object of the project is not working. So this is after this you can actually create a transactions within the project, so that it will actually within the what we say, we can actually specify the transactions within the inventory. Later on, we do have a one purchase option. What is the purchase option? Purchase option is actually an option where you can generate the PO for the supplier. So the order, you can specify the order number, the supplier, the expected date of the delivery, the notes, and then we can specify the what is the quantity the supplier is going to give us. This UOM is comes with the product, and then the cost is going to be this. So when you give the cost, it will be there. We can obviously change this dollar sign with the rupee sign later stages, and when we create the purchase, we can have a purchase over here, right? So this whole thing is going to help you to actually manage your inventory. We can obviously come up with like more features into the inventory later on of the stages, but yeah, this is what the starting point of the inventory development. We spent approximately 20 days into the development within the inventory systems, and we are going to complete it in next 5 or 6 days or so. After which we pick up the next module, and yeah, that is how it will work. All right. So let me know your feedback, and I'll stay in touch. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you.